นมัตถุรัตนตยศาสตร์ขอความนอบน้อมของข้าพเจ้าจงมีแด่พระรัตนตรัยขอกราบคารวะท่านอาจารย์พระครูวินัยธรคริสโตเฟอร์การุณิโกวัดป่าจิตวิเวกประเทศอังกฤษขอเจริญสุขสวัสดีญาติโยมสาธุชนผู้ปฏิบัติธรรมทุกท่าน May pay respect to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and also respect ท่านอาจารย์การุณิโก or his official title พระครูวินัยธรคริสโตเฟอร์การุณิโก So this title was in fact given by หลวงพ่อพระเทพภาวนามงคล because อาจารย์การุณิโก was his student since he and was a lay person ก็เบื้องต้นนะจะพูดทั้งภาษาไทยภาษาอังกฤษท่านอาจารย์การุณิโกก็พูดภาษาไทยได้นิดหน่อยนะก็เลยเป็นภาษาอังกฤษโครงการนี้เกิดขึ้นโดยความดำริของโยมหรือดร.ขวัญศรีเจียมตนนะซึ่งอยากจะทำอะไรที่เป็นการรำลึกนึกถึงคุณของพระเดชพระคุณหลวงพ่อพระเทพภาวนามงคลซึ่งท่านได้ถึงแก่มรณภาพเมื่อวันที่18พฤศจิกายนที่ผ่านมาที่โรงพยาบาลศิริราชประเทศไทยที่อังกฤษเองเราก็ได้มีการจัดพิธีสวดอภิธรรมนะ7 วันแล้วก็เมื่อวันที่26ที่ผ่านมาเราได้มีการทำบุญครบ7 วันอาจารย์กรุณิโกท่านเป็นลูกศิษย์ของหลวงพ่อตั้งแต่เมื่อครั้งยังเป็นฆราวาสเพราะฉะนั้นก็ถือว่ามีความคุ้นเคยสนิทสนมแล้วก็เคารพนับถือในพระเดชพระคุณหลวงพ่อพระเทพภาวนามงคลเป็นอย่างมากนะ เพราะฉะนั้นวันนี้จึงเป็นโอกาสดีที่เราจะได้รับฟังธรรมบรรยายจากท่านอาจารย์การุณิโกเบื้องต้นอยากจะขอแนะนำท่านอาจารย์การุณิโกเป็นภาษาไทยก่อนนะหลังจากนั้นจึงจะได้แนะนำเป็นภาษาอังกฤษ And before we begin, before I invite ท่านอาจารย์การุณิโก to give a Dhamma talk and also to lead a short meditation, taking question, I just would like to introduce ท่านอาจารย์การุณิโก in Thaiท่านอาจารย์กรุณิโกนามเดิมของท่านก็คือคริสโตเฟอร์วูดไฟท่านเกิดเมื่อปีค.ศ. 1953ทางโน้นทางเมืองแมนเชสเตอร์แล้วก็หลังท่านเรียนจบจากมหาวิทยาลัยเชฟฟิลด์ในสาขาวิศวกรรมไฟฟ้าท่านเป็นวิศวกรไฟฟ้าก่อนที่ท่านจะมาบวชท่านเรียนจบปริญญาตรีสาขาวิศวกรรมไฟฟ้าตั้งแต่ปี19751975ในตอนนั้นอาตมาเพิ่งอายุได้1 ขวบเองนะหลังจากที่จบการศึกษาท่านก็ทำงานเป็นเอนจิเนียร์หรือว่าเป็นวิศวกรเนี่ยทางเหนือของกรุงลอนดอนเสร็จแล้วเนี่ยท่านก็เริ่มสนใจพุทธศาสนาจากการอ่านหนังสือแล้วก็มีความซาบซึ้งในหลักคำสอนในที่สุดก็เลยตัดสินใจไปบวชตัดสินใจเป็นอนาคาริกก่อนท่านก็บวชที่วัดป่าจิตวิเวกนั่นแหละเมื่อปี1979หลังจากนั้นท่านก็ไปเข้ากรรมฐานขออภัยนะก็คือไปอยู่เป็นอนาคาริกแล้วก็ช่วงที่เป็นฆราวาสเนี่ยก็มาปฏิบัติธรรมกับหลวงพ่อที่วัดพุทธประทีปตอนนั้นยังเป็นฆราวาสเดี๋ยวยังไม่ได้บวชนี่ขับพูดลัดขั้นตอนนิดนึงจนกระทั่งว่าตัดสินใจจะบวชท่านก็เลยหลวงพ่อก็เลยแนะนำว่าไปบวชอยู่กับท่านอาจารย์สเมโทไปบวชอยู่วัดป่าจิตวิเวกน่าจะเหมาะสมเพราะฉะนั้นท่านก็เลยตัดสินใจอุปสมบทที่วัดป่าจิตวิเวกนี่คือเป็นประวัติคร่าวๆนะประวัติคร่าวๆของท่านอาจารย์การุณิโก and I just would like to introduce ท่านอาจารย์การุณิโก in English. Venerable Karuniko Bhikkhu, or and his first name and family name Christopher, who is 5, was born in 1953 near Manchester in England. He graduated from Sheffield University with an honours degree in electronics engineering in 1975. After graduation, he worked as an engineer in North London His first contact with Buddhism was formed reading a book which made a deep impression on him. In 1978, he began visiting the Hampstead Vihara to attend teachings and meditation under the guidance of Venerable Ajahn Sumedho, who had recently taken up residence in North London. When Ajahn Sumedho moved to Chithurst in 1979, he then attended meditation classes at Wat Buddha Batipa, led by Venerable Amarathera or Pra Th Pavanam Mongkol, the late abbot of the Buddha Batipa temple. He became an Anakarika in 1982 under the guidance of Venerable Ajahn Sumedho at Chithurst Buddhist Monastery, England. In July 1984, he took bhikkhu ordination or Upasambhata with Ajahn Sumedho. Venerable Karuniko has spent most of his monastic life helping to establish monastery in England and New Zealand, and spent 3 years living in the monastery in Thailand. So now it's a very good time for us to have a chance to listen to a Dhamma talk to be delivered by ท่านอาจารย์การุณิโกขอนิมนต์ท่านอาจารย์ครับ You can lead the chanting. Yeah.
Okay. So just Arahanga. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sankho Sanghang Namami Hannamayam Buddhassa Bhagavato Pubabhaganamakarang Karoma Se Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa ครับ
ขอเชิญโยมกราบท่านอาจารย์นะ Okay, before you begin, ท่านอาจารย์ before you begin, and the devotee would like to pay respect to you.
Okay, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
เชิญทุกท่านกราบพระอาจารย์พร้อมกันนะคะกราบกราบกราบนมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Okay.
Sawadi Yom, Hajaran Pon Yom. So I'm very pleased to be here on this occasion to offer some reflections at this time to remember Lumpur Tep Pavanam Mongkol. Yeah. So yes, I mean I'm speaking from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia at the moment. That's why it's hot here, so I don't wear the jacket like I do when I'm in England. And staying in a place where the monks stay when they visit Malaysia. And I heard about Lumpur passing away while I was here in Malaysia, and I did think maybe I could, because I'm actually going to Thailand tomorrow, and I thought maybe I will be able to attend the Nan Sop for Lumpur, but of course they already had the ceremony for the Nan Sop, so I was not able to attend that. I had a schedule here in Malaysia. But so I'm very pleased that this opportunity to to remember Lumpur on this occasion on this online Dharma sharing, to offer something in memory and respects for Lumpur. So as Pramaha was saying, I started my Buddhist career actually at the Buddhist Society in 1978, but I didn't find the teachings I could relate to it very much. And while I was at the Buddhist Society, I heard about these monks staying in Hampstead. This was in 1978. So I went to the Hampstead Vihara and met Lumpur Sumedho, and I quite liked, I could very much appreciate the way Lumpur Sumedho taught the Dhamma. So I started to go there every Sunday night for puja. I learned the evening chanting, and we sat for about 45 minutes in meditation, and then Lumpur or whoever the senior monk there was would offer a Dharma talk. And I found it so very helpful. It's like Sunday night, it was a very helpful way to start the week at work. It sort of set me up in a good way for the week ahead. So that was all very good, but then Lumpur Sumedho decided that it wasn't really a suitable place, a house on a busy road in Hampstead, to start a monastery. So in 1979, in July, Lumpur Sumedho and the monks from Hampstead Vihara moved to Chithurst. And so I didn't have my Sunday night puja, meditation and Dharma talk to start the week. But then, fortunately, I heard about the Thai temple, Wat Buddha Patipa. It was quite away from where I lived. I lived in North London, and Wimbledon's in the south of London. But just really appreciating the time to be in a sort of more monastic environment, being with monks, meditating, listening to Dhamma, seeing the value in that. I decided to make the journey across London on Sunday to join Lumpur's meditation class. And the meditation class was started about 3 p.m., I seem to remember. And Lumpur would give the precepts first of all, and then say some words, some guidance, and then we do some meditation together. Now that was the first time I'd really taken the refuges and precepts. Lumpur Sumedho in the early days of Hampstead tended to want to encourage people to practice meditation. And if with Westerners, if you just teach them precepts first of all, maybe they won't come back. So he decided just to more focus on the wisdom teachings of Buddhism and the practice of meditation. So I really found that very nice to a Sunday afternoon to take the refuges and precepts, and that also was a good reminder about how to guide my actions of body and speech on the week ahead, and learning more about the precepts and what the precepts meant, and again, very helpful guidelines, especially the ones around speech. I mean, I wasn't into harming living beings or taking things that belong to other people, but the teachings on right speech were very, very good things to remember. About especially things like backbiting, and frivolous sort of unnecessary speech, which, that tended to happen at work. People get into backbiting, very frivolous and unuseful speech, and also harsh speech, to be more gentle in the way I spoke and the way I addressed people, whether they were my seniors or juniors or just people more in the workshop. Because, I was an engineer, so I had, some sort of status in the company, and there were people of a sort of a lower status, but how to be, friendly, use friendly speech with whoever I interacted with at work. So, taking these refuge in precepts every week was a good reminder, and it helped me to bring to mind maybe times when I'm not being so skillful with the precepts, and to reaffirm, my intention to try to be more careful, more mindful, more heedful the following week. And that's, really how Dhamma practice develops. And we can't expect to perfect our speech, overnight, but, we work at it, don't we? We practice it, try to be more careful with the way we speak. And also the meditation was very helpful. One began to, see the effects of, if you got caught up in backbiting speech, unskillful speech, it always left a bad effect on the quality of mind. Be more sensitive to how things affected the mind through the practice of mindfulness, through the practice of meditation. Yes, one wanted to use one's body and speech in a way that promotes, like good, wholesome mind states. Of course, generally, life in the West, drinking was also, common. Everybody used to go out to the pub and drink. There's nothing in, even in Christian upbringing to say that, drinking was not good for you. And again, the precept about not taking drink and drugs which lead to carelessness, taking this to heart too. And, my friends at work, they say, oh, go on, have a drink. It won't do any harm, it's the odd drink, But I was keen to practice the Buddha's teachings, and taking the precepts with Lumpur, and that gave me an added incentive to try and live by those precepts. So I stopped drinking, and I still used to go to the pub with them, but I just drink orange juice. And even though they make fun of me a bit, I didn't mind. I was quite determined in the practice of the Buddha's teachings and following the precepts. And also, even before I decided to take the precepts, because I was meditating, for quite, a couple of years with the Hampstead Vihara, I actually, began to notice the effects of drink on the clarity of mind. Again, just like how speech affects the mind, how drink affects the mind. And that's the most important thing, to look after the heart, the mind, and live skillfully as best one can. And that became the most important thing to follow the Buddha's teachings. So going to Anaputtapatipa and Lumpur giving us the precepts was very helpful and very supportive. And then also, the teachings of meditation, and the technique of meditation. He taught more the Mahasiddhanta method of meditation. I think in Thai you say yukno ponno, watching the rising and falling of the abdomen as your meditation object. And I found that that was quite a good place for to observe the in and out breath. I could get a sense for the rising and falling of the abdomen, more so at that time than observing the sensation at the tip of the nose. So initially I would go for the session in the afternoon from 3 to 5, and this was in the the house, the room in the house, as you go in the front entrance of the house and turn left, the room right at the end. I think it's more of a bookstore room now, but that was the shrine room before they built the Uposita hall. But then, you know, and it seemed that I could actually go there earlier and do some meditation. Because, you know, in those days, disciplining myself to meditate at home wasn't easy. There are too many distractions trying to meditate in my flat in London, which I shared with a couple more people. So I decided to go down early in the morning, try and get to the Buddha Boutique for about 9 o'clock in the morning. And I just stay in the shrine and then just do walk in the city meditation. And the Thai people in Buddha Boutique were very friendly, very supportive, and they did invite me out for the meal. When they were offering meal to the monks, then they would also give me something to eat. It was very friendly, very welcoming, and then I just carry on after meal, walking and sitting, and then very nice when Lumpur would come in at 3 o'clock and finish the day with the precepts and Dharma talk and some teachings. So that was probably sometime late in 1979 I started to go there, because the monks moved from Hampstead Vihara back in June of 1979. So that was my regular Sunday of meditation and dedicating the day to my Buddhist practice. In 1981, at the end of 1981, I decided to go to Asia to spend a few months in a meditation monastery. And the invitation I had was to go to Burma. Again, it was with the Mahasi meditation tradition. And I met this Burmese Sayadaw in England by the name of Sayadaw Ujanaka. And he invited me to come and do a longer retreat. So I went off initially to Thailand, and I was fortunate Lumpur was going at the same time, and so I tagged along with Lumpur. And that was very, very nice, because it was very helpful. Especially, you know, I arrived in Thailand, but my suitcase didn't arrive. So, you know, hot climate, and all I had were the clothes that I had on, and a sort of a shoulder bag with a few things in. But anyway, Lumpur was very helpful. Took me to Wat Ma Tat, got me settled in there, and helped to organise, you know, getting my suitcase and clothing, which came, you know, like a day later or something. And Lumpur did take me to visit a few of the monasteries he was connected to, and but I did some meditation in section 5, but I was very popular with the mosquitoes. I think they like the foreign blood. Maybe it's sweeter because I don't eat so many chilies. So so I was coming out in all these sort of red marks and lumps. All the bare parts of my of the body were showing mosquito bites. And even many years later, when I go and visit Lumpur, often, you know, if I was in the UK during the Vasa, we'd come to Wat Buddha Boutique and pay respects to Lumpur. And he always remembered sort of I losing my bag, my suitcase, and all my mosquito bites. So he always used to remember that and have a smile about it. So in this way was how I regularly could come in and pay respects to Lumpur during the Vasa. On other occasions, I did come along because it's like special occasions, occasionally giving a talk at Wat Buddha Batip. And I actually came along to the opening ceremony for the new Poster Hall. This was, I think, in 1983 or something. I was at Anagarika at the time, and I attended the opening of the new Poster Hall. And during my time as abbot of Wat Ba Chitui Wake, in 2018, Lumpur was very kind to offer me the title of Prakru Winayaton. And because Lumpur just received the Pratep, honored with the Pratep honor, and so with that honor for him, he was able to offer some Prakru titles to some of the monks. So he offered me the Prakru title, Prakru Winayaton. So I attended a nice ceremony for that at Wat Buddha Batip in the new Uposita Hall. So just reflecting on Lumpur, and I don't know actually the year Lumpur came to the UK to Wat Buddha Batip. Yeah, I know Lumpur was there, 43 years ago. And, what a commitment to help support the growth of the Dhamma in the West for so many years. And I'm sure there was challenges and along, establishing, supporting a monastery in an environment that maybe is not as supportive as it would be in Thailand. But, over the years, building up that monastery and, supporting the Thai community who came to the monastery, and also, more interest from Western people. And like I say, running the meditation classes, teaching the Westerners meditation, and then forming that, they formed a lay group at Buddha Batipa from mostly, I think it was Westerners, for the Westerners, so there was more English speaking. And then having the new Poster Hall, very nice place for the practice of meditation, having meetings there and talks there, regular talks, and inviting different speakers to give teachings. Then, of course, the support for the Thai community, the sort of teaching facility that was built in the grounds for teaching the Thai children who were born in England, Thai married to Westerners. The children could come and learn some Thai language, learn some about Thai culture, learn about the Buddha's teachings. So I just did such a very beautiful offering of all those years of supporting Buddha Batip, that supported not only the Thai community, but also supported the Western community who were interested in Buddhism too. So that's, I would say, like just an honor to Lumpur for all he offered for the promotion, the development of the Buddha Sasana in the West. And, now, Lumpur's passed on now. And, I think we can, reflect on all the goodness Lumpur's done and, all the good karma or the parami that he's cultivated in his life. This will always be a support in whatever Lumpur's moved on to. If Lumpur's taken birth again, these will be the things that will continue to support him on the way to the realization of Nibbana. So, when people pass away, this is what we can do. We can reflect on the goodness of their life and express our appreciation for all the things that they've taught us. They're a good example for us. And this is a way we can remember, our teachers. And I don't know if in the Parinibbana Sutta, when the Buddha was passing away, many people came to pay respects to the Buddha and many devas. So according to the sutras, the area around the Buddha was just packed with the devas and the Sangha and lay people coming to pay respects to the Buddha and offering flowers also. And there's a great fragrance in the air from the flowers and the devas and sort of all these beautiful offerings that were offered to the Buddha. And the Buddha commented, that all these offerings are very wonderful, a wonderful way to respect the Buddha. But the Buddha then added that really the best way that one can pay respects to the Buddha is by putting the Buddha's teachings into practice. So the Buddha said that was actually the most beneficial way to show one's respect to the Buddha. So, remembering Luang Por's life, his example, the things he taught us, and putting those things into practice are things that can a way of showing our appreciation and respect for Luang Por. And just like today, just reflect on the things he taught me and how they benefited me. And so eventually I did decide to more commit myself to the Buddha's teachings and go to Chittest and in 1982 and become an Anagarika. And then eventually taking Upasampada in 1984. And because of that gratitude to Luang Por and what he taught me and his example, and the things this is why I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to pay respects in this way, because as I said, I wasn't able to attend the Nan Sop, the funeral for Luang Por, and pay my respects there. I always respected Luang Por's peaceful demeanor, even like from even the days of in 1980 going to Wat Buddha Patip, and he come in very peacefully, talked very calmly, very peacefully to us. And his whole presence was a very calming and peaceful would help just with meditation. He was having that peaceful, calm voice and presence. And the last time I did meet Luang Por, with aging, I he was over 90 already, and you see memory and faculties weren't the same, but the same sort of peacefulness, a peace in himself, even though memory wasn't so good. As the Buddha said, sanya and ichang, these faculties with old age, the brain functions lessen, and so memories don't manifest like they used to. And of course, if we practice Dhamma, we can be at peace with that. Okay, this is just part of old age. We can't remember things so well anymore. But of course, if we're not attached to that ability to remember things, then it's no problem. We just know this is the way it is. One cannot remember, and one can be at peace with that. I know some people can very much panic about not having the memory they used to have. Now I find I don't remember things as well as I did, but then that's part of the aging process. And one can accept that and be at peace with that, because it's just the nature of old age. So with wisdom, the faculties deteriorate: sight, sounds, the ability to see, hear, body energy, mobility. I know Luang Por had some problems with swelling in his feet. But, the wise reflect this is the nature of the aging process, and one, if one has used one's life to cultivate mindfulness and wisdom, then one can be at peace with that and see just the natural process of getting old. So my last memory of Lumpur, paying respects to the temple, memory not so good, but a peaceful, kind presence, and again encouraging us in the practice of Dhamma. And the last message, maybe it's not a written message, but it is the message of yes, one day we all have to die. So how to use this opportunity that we have in this life, in this birth, to cultivate wholesomeness, cultivate dana, cultivate sila, cultivate bhavana. Our life hopefully offers these opportunities for us. And, as I'm sure Lumpur would say the same thing as the Buddha said, Vaya Dhammo Sankara, all conditions are subject to dissolution. Everything, all that arises passes away. We have to let go of everything. And apramadena sampadeta, strive on with diligence to cultivate mindfulness and wisdom, and and if maybe even the realization of that, of the deathless, that which is beyond birth and death. So all conditioned things pass away. So strive on with diligence. So that's the last message, that the passing away of all monks is a message that we're given. But still, the Buddha Sasana continues, and I remember the Buddha saying, because Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana passed away before the Buddha passed away, and people were sad about Venerable Sariputta, known for his great wisdom, Venerable Moggallana for his great psychic abilities. They were really much loved and respected monks. And the Buddha said, well, two great branches have fallen off the tree, but the tree is still there. So, a great branch has fallen off, he said, the tree at Buddhabhatipa, but there's still a temple there, there's still the Sangha there, and opportunities for us to practice there. So this carries on. So remember our teachers, remember them with respect, gratitude. I said their example, their teachings, and let us carry on with the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, and may we all one day realize the supreme peace and happiness of Nibbana. So I'd like to offer these reflections on this occasion to remember Lumpur Tep Bhavana Mongkon.
Sadhu, thank you, Thanajan Karuniko. And now,
you're welcome.
So you finish it too. And if anyone has question, I think he's happy to take questions. And before he leads a short meditation. ตอนนี้ท่านใดที่มีคำถามได้อยากจะให้ถามก่อนก็แล้วกันก็ก่อนที่ท่านอาจารย์จะได้นำปฏิบัตินะสักเล็กน้อยตามสมควรแก่เวลานะท่านใดมีคำถามไหม
กราบนมัสการเจ้าค่ะพระอาจารย์กรุณิโกพระอาจารย์ภัสกรโยมขอนิดนึงนะคะ I just like to mention because as I'm so thank you so much about the Dhamma talk of ท่านกรุณิโกอมังคณานะเจ้าค่ะอมังคณา
Yes, I can recognize the voice. Hello, Yomankana, yes.
and so thank you so much, and I just already realized that พระอาจารย์know หลวงพ่อเทพภาวนามงคล so well, and the teaching of the หลวงพ่อ always in our memories. And I remember one of your teaching when I saw you at the Chitta Vivek, and I used to practice, and the mind is so disrupting a lot, and it's just thinking, and then I spoke to you. I don't know what you remember about the I said, if the mind wandering so much, and I just thought about the chanting, you know, whatever chant occurred into my mind, I take that in place rather than keep wondering, you know. I've been wondering, and now I'm growing a bit more now. I just trying to control with the sati awareness. And so that with chanting, you think it does help. I know you say, oh, chanting, you told, because I did ask advice. How should I do if I keep wondering and thinking so much? And I said, oh, just bring back to myself. And I said, I'm doing chanting and instead in place. So I remember you always say that. Yeah. And thank you so much. I don't want to take too much time, พระอาจารย์ Thank you ท่านพัสกรเจ้าค่ะ Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, just in response to Ankana's comments, that when I first started go to the Hampstead Vihara,
yes.
I started to learn the evening chanting, you know, Tamot Yen, and over the period of a few months, I got to know it without the book, and I did notice that if I arrived late and missed the chanting, my mind was more busy when I came to the meditation. But if I got there in time for the chanting, you know, 15, 20 minutes to doing the Tamot Yen, then I find the mind calmed down a bit and more ready for the meditation. Yeah, it's quite like a distinct difference.
Yes.
Chanting first helped to settle the mind before the meditation. So that's why I say it's good. Yeah, good to do some chanting first, just to focus the mind, bring it away from all the other thoughts, and it prepares. Then we can, you know, maybe turn to the breath, and the mind's more ready to be more focused on the breath and staying more in the present moment. Yeah.
Yeah. สาธุค่ะ Thank you ค่ะ Thank you so much ท่านพัสกร พระอาจารย์สาธุค่ะ
ท่านอื่นมีคำถามไหมจะถามเป็นภาษาไทยก็ได้นะเดี๋ยวจะช่วยแปลภาษาอังกฤษให้หรือว่าถ้าสะดวกถามภาษาอังกฤษก็ถามได้เลยแต่ถ้าท่านใดไม่สะดวกพูดภาษาอังกฤษพูดภาษาไทยก็ได้นะก็อาจจะฟังเข้าใจบ้างไม่เข้าใจบ้างแต่ขอให้คิดว่าเรามาฟังธรรมะเพื่อเป็นอนุสัยบางคนอาจจะมองว่าท่านอาจารย์พูดภาษาอังกฤษโยมฟังเนี่ยเข้าใจประมาณ 10% แล้วโยมจะได้บุญไหมเนี่ยจริงๆเนี่ยการฟังธรรมเนี่ยได้บุญตั้งแต่การที่เรามีจิตอยากจะฟังแล้วส่วนจะฟังรู้เรื่องไม่รู้เรื่องเนี่ยก็เป็นอีกประเด็นหนึ่งถ้ารู้เรื่องเราก็จะได้เข้าใจในเนื้อหาสาระของธรรมะแต่ถ้าไม่รู้เรื่องก็ยังได้บุญนะยกตัวอย่างกรณีของค้างคาว500ตัวที่ฟังพระสาธยายพิธรรมไม่ได้รู้เรื่องหรอกแต่ว่ามีจิตโสมนัสในเสียงนั้นเนี่ยบุญกุศลก็ได้เกิดขึ้นแล้วนะญาติโยมท่านใดอยากจะถามก็จะพูดภาษาไทยภาษาอังกฤษได้เลยนะเดี๋ยวจะมาถ้าพูดภาษาไทยมาเดี๋ยวจะมาแปลภาษาอังกฤษให้นะคงไม่มีคำถามนะถ้าไม่มีคำถามเนี่ยก็จะได้นิมนต์ท่านอาจารย์ได้นำปฏิบัติสักตามสมควรแก่เวลานะท่านอาจารย์ก็ฟังภาษาไทยเข้าใจอยู่แต่ว่าก็ไม่ได้เต็มร้อยแหละ Right, I think there is no question from the audience, and because I thought that everything you talk is clear, so there is no question from the audience, and now to lead a meditation in the way that normally.
Yeah. Are you going to translate or just do it in English?
Yeah, you can speak in English. Yeah, you can speak in English.
Yeah, well, I think my Thai is not good enough to teach in Thai, you know, and I'd probably get all the tones wrong too. So English, okay. Yeah, so maybe what we do about 15 minutes of meditation together. Does that sound reasonable? Yeah. And I don't know if people like, you know, who may be listening in the UK have to go to work soon. So I don't want to, you know, have them late for work. And of course, people in Thailand, if listening, are fine. It's just afternoon. Yeah. So yes, we'll just do a 15-minute meditation. So maybe just first of all, just establishing a nice upright posture. So if we are in a chair, just maybe trying to not to lean back on the chair, but just use our own efforts to keep the body upright, and but upright and relaxed. You know, relaxing the shoulders, letting the elbows hang. maybe just initially, just like bringing our awareness through the body, relaxing, the face, the eyes, and the jaw. Just relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders. Now, we can say the body's here in the present moment, but the thing is sometimes the mind is not here in the present moment. And, habits of thought will tend to take us into the past and the future. So this is why, we use like a meditation object in meditation to bring our attention more into the present moment, bring our awareness into the present moment. And, one of the meditation subjects the Buddha taught was mindfulness of breathing as a very useful meditation object. So bringing our attention to the body and noticing the sensations that we're experiencing that inform us now we're breathing in and now we're breathing out. So this might be the sensation at the tip of the nose as the breath comes in. Or it might be, say, the movement of the chest or the abdomen as the chest expands and contracts, or the abdomen rises and falls. So we can say we can observe the sensation of the breath at different places, just focus on one place. Or something I find quite helpful is actually notice all the different sensations. The sensation of the tip of the nose as the breath comes in, and notice as the breath comes into the body, the expansion of the chest, and as the breath fills in more, the rising of the abdomen. So it's like the whole body breath meditation. So bring in the breath into the whole body. Be mindful of the breath into the whole body. Now the breath, gives us life. It gives us vitality. So mindful breathing in this way is very good for our health. Really feeling the good energy of the breath coming in, filling the body, giving energy, giving life, giving vitality. And the breath is also, it's a peaceful object. The natural breathing of our bodies, the natural flow of the breath is a very peaceful object. So if we focus on peaceful things, then this can help the mind to become more peaceful. If we focus on exciting things, the mind gets excited. If we focus on peaceful things, then this can help support the mind be more peaceful. So, as best we can, just be mindful of the breath coming in, mindful of the breath going out, and the different sensations that we experience in the body as we breathe in and out. The sensations that inform us, now we're breathing in, now we're breathing out. And, as some things were taught, we can note the breath quietly. As we breathe in, we can breathe in with a thought, breathing in. Breathe out with a thought, breathing out. Or some teachers use the word butto, breathing in with the word but, breathing out with the word to. So just this an extra tool to replace the distracting thoughts with a skillful thought. And this helps us more to be more mindful of the breathing. So we're just calming, clearing the mind, coming into the present moment. Not being too forceful with our effort, not grit your teeth, but just keeping a relaxed effort. Just appreciating this precious thing called the breath as it comes in and out in this present moment. And naturally, thoughts will come and go. But the skill of meditation is just to notice when the mind's going off in thought and not following those thoughts and coming back to the breath. So noting where the thoughts were going, then coming back to the breath. In this way, we begin to know the mind in the present moment. The mind state, the way the body is, the mind state, the different thoughts that are coming and going. So just being aware of these things, but not getting too carried away by them. So as best we can, coming back to the present moment, breathing in, breathing out. So a skillful attitude in meditation is just to accept whatever the present moment is bringing. So the Buddha taught breathing in, experience in the body, breathing out, experience in the body, breathing in, experience in the mind, breathing out, experience in the mind. So we're just using the breath to be mindful of this mind and body in the present moment. Nothing really to get, but nothing to get rid of. Just breathing and being aware in the present moment. So sadhu anumodana to Yom T Maruam T Milurk Lumpur Teภาวนามงคล Yep. So you're coming together like this to do a short puja, listen to Dhamma, and do some meditation together is again a great what the Buddha recommended as a way to pay respects to our teachers who have passed away. So it's very good we have done this together today. So sadhu anumodana.
Okay, thank you to ท่านอาจารย์Garuniko for his kind accepting to give a Dhamma talk as a contribution in memory of หลวงพ่อพระเทพภาวนามงคล But before we close the session today, I just would like to invite Dr. Khonsari Jiamtun to say thank you on behalf of the audience, and you can speak in Thai and also in English. ขอเชิญดร. Khonsari ได้กล่าวขอบคุณกล่าวขอบพระคุณท่านอาจารย์การุณิโกนะทั้งภาษาไทยภาษาอังกฤษเลยนะก่อนที่จะได้นิมนต์ท่านอาจารย์ได้นำไหว้พระ
ได้
ขอบคุณเจ้าค่ะขอเป็นตัวแทนของทุกท่านที่มาร่วมในงานในครั้งนี้กราบขอบพระคุณท่านอาจารย์เป็นที่สุดที่ได้มาให้ธรรมะแล้วก็แม้จะเป็นเกร็ดเล็กๆน้อยๆก็มีประโยชน์ที่ทำให้เราไม่ใช่เพียงแค่ระลึกถึงหลวงพ่อแต่ว่าทำให้เราได้มีโอกาสได้ทบทวนแล้วก็นำการปฏิบัติเข้ามาใช้ต่อไปอีกเจ้าค่ะกราบขอบพระคุณเจ้าค่ะThank you so much for you coming today, and particularly your Dhamma talk. I think there's lots of tips and tricks to help us reflect lots of things in terms of the what the Buddha teaching and how to link that into our practice. Thank you so much. เห็นท่านอาจารย์คงฤทธิ์เข้ามาท่านอาจารย์จะเกี่ยวอะไรสักนิดหน่อยไหมเจ้าคะ
อาจารย์คงฤทธิ์ you may say greeting to อาจารย์ Garuniko. I think now you're still in Thailand.
Yeah, he's in Thailand. Yeah.
อาจารย์คงฤทธิ์ I mean อาจารย์ I believe that he's still in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yes, I am in Thailand.
Okay.
อาจารย์คงฤทธิ์ พระครู
สมุคงฤทธิ์
พระครูสมุ
นมัสการครับท่านพระอาจารย์ครับ
อาจารย์คงฤทธิ์ I'll be in Thailand tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, Ajahn, when will you come back to the UK? When will you return to the UK?
Oh, not till February.
Until February.
Yes, yeah. I'm in Thailand for a couple of months. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right now, I think it's the time to finish the session. I just would like to invite you to say paying homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as to get you to pay respect to the Triple Gem and to close the session.
To the Arahant, do Arahant, yeah.
Just
and just also may the blessings of our gathering here today and our practice here, and may we share these blessings with Lumpur, Pate,ภาวนามงคล, wishing joy in Dhamma on the Noble Eightfold Path and the realization of Nibbana.
Thank you.
Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sankho Sanghang Namami.
Okay, Jan, I just wanted to pay respect to you first, and then the lay devotee will pay respect to you.
Sadhu, sadhu.
ขอเชิญโยมทุกท่านกราบท่านอาจารย์พร้อมกันนะ
ทุกท่านนะคะ กราบกราบกราบนมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Okay, thank you again ท่านอาจารย์กรุณาโก I hope to see you when you are back in the UK.
Yeah, see you back in the UK sometime. Yeah, all the best. Stay healthy in the winter. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
everybody.
recovered the cough.
Yeah.
And last week, and I have lost my voice, and I have bad cough. I thought I caused a virus in Oxford, and then
right, okay.
Okay,
Yes,
now,
well, you
yeah.
sound better now. Well, get well soon. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you,
Okay then.
thank you. Okay,
Bye now then. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye everybody. Bye, Jerome Pon, Yom, Jerome Pon.
นมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Bye bye.
สการเจ้า